Hello. In this video, we will be setting up AWS step function to orchestrate our work. So as you can see in this diagram, step function, we can schedule or we can actually plan how our flow of work goes. So in this case, it triggers Lambda function get ticket info, and then that after that it triggers get sentiment, and then set tags, wait, and escalate priorities. So this is step by step, right? So we can also create a complex one with this. So we will get that in our demonstration. So in this case, the event bridge is used to automate this trigger. So we can schedule it for any time of a day or once a month or something like that, and we can trigger the automation, and it will actually go through and complete the task step by step as per our design. So let's go to a step function and get started with it. So we can use different templates, create our own, or we can for this demo purpose I'm just going to use the hello world template over here. Click the run hello world, and this is the template that we are gonna demonstrate with. So as you can see, there are different state over here. The first one is state variable and state output, and then the second one is a choice state, which is hello world is a hello world example, and if depending upon a condition, it either goes for the default one or for this one, and then it waits for a certain time, and then the flow happens like this. So if you go to a code, you can see this is the code for the first state, and it has two variables output, that is hello world example, and execution wait time in seconds. Okay, and this execution wait time in seconds is at last wait for a second uses this, and it triggers and it wait for a certain time, and then it triggers this other state over here. Apart from that, so we can define the type of a state. So this is a type choice for is hello world example, and if there is a type choice, then we can put a choices over here, and we can state a condition like if this condition is true, then do certain action, or if it is false, then do the default action. Okay, so in this case we are using is hello world example this value to check the condition. And yes, generally that's the actual flow. Apart from this, all of these are pretty much similar with the type of the state and etc. So we can also add different Lambda functions over here, or maybe other services that you can use, so that we can customize the flow as per our need. Let's just run this and test it out what happens. So I'm just going to create it. So it creates a state machine. So this is the input JSON if you want to pass it out, but we don't have any setup to manipulate this session, so we don't really need it. So yeah, start the execution. As you can see, it is started and it is now waiting for 3 seconds because we have put 3 seconds. Yeah, now it's completed. After 3 seconds it performs this task. So that's the general flow. Let's go to edit machine and go to code, and just gonna make it false. So once it is false, then the state machine is expected to go to this direction instead of this one. So just save it and execute it without any value, and now you can see it goes to this condition, and then it directly goes to fail execution. So that's our state. Now let's go back and use true over here. So it will go to this flow, and we can add our let's add one Lambda function in this case. So I'm just gonna add a Lambda function over here. Okay, invoke Lambda, and I need to select a Lambda function. So let's go to Lambda. I've already created one Lambda function, that is test. So this Lambda function is completely normal, nothing much. I've just added one line to print hello world from Lambda triggered by a step function over here. Okay, if everything else is by default. So go to our step function, and then go to step function and select that particular Lambda, test Lambda. And if you want to send a particular value inside a Lambda, then we can use a payload to send a value to a Lambda, and that's all. So we can also put a next state. So next state is execution in parallel. So yeah, if you want to change it, you can change it from here. And one more thing that we need to set is the permission to trigger the Lambda. Okay, so without any permission, the step function cannot trigger the Lambda. If we test it out, just test the trigger point and just start the test, we will have an exception error stating Lambda cannot be invoked. So for that, we go to configuration of step function, and we got an IAM role, view in IAMs. So this particular role is used by our step function. Let's add permission to trigger a Lambda function. So there is a Lambda function basic execution role. You can just click on this and add a permission. So once this role is added, let's go to our design again, and let's try to test it out. Test. Let's give it some. Let's go to step function and add one more permission. So let's try to give full access of Lambda. And yeah, we can test this out again. So make sure the role is the right one. Is VNCL. So VNCL, yeah, and test it. So now you can see it's completely working now. Save this file and let's try to execute it. So we have already tested out, so let's go to test and configuration, and let's say monitoring CloudWatch logs. So in the CloudWatch logs, we can see step function has been triggered. So Lambda is triggered by step function. It was on 34. Okay, so let's just put it over here and go to step function and try to execute it again. We don't need any sort of value, just start execution, and you can see it starts, it goes to wait for 3 seconds, it goes to Lambda function, and Lambda function is triggered, and then it triggers everything else. Now let's go to CloudWatch and refresh this. So you see there is a new one. Okay, step function, good. So yeah, that's how we can orchestrate the step. So we can also put, like, maybe you want to send notification, you can put SNS over here. Maybe you want to put something else, so you can see S3 bucket control, you can do RDS control. So there are all the different services over here that you want to control. So yeah, this is the step function, and you can orchestrate different stuff in the step function. Yeah, so that's all for the step function. Thank you.